Matthew chapter 27, verse 34 tells, "Then they gave to Jesus vinegar to drink, and it was mingled with gall. And when he tasted, he wouldn't drink it." Now understand, near the cross they had a bowl. Not long ago, some of it maybe wooden, some of it maybe clay or dirt kind, but they would have this and they would leave it. And the reason why is because in the process of the crucifixion, there were really two people that would become thirsty. One was the soldiers. Okay? The soldiers themselves, as they stayed there near the cross, near the sun was hot all day long, the soldiers would go ahead and they would see, drink a little bit. Okay? The second reason why is because they would have like a mop, with a pole, and the mop would be there, and they would dip it in there, and they would thrust it up to the person who was dying, who was thirsty. And Jesus Christ really became thirsty himself on the cross when he was dying. And so they went ahead and they got the vinegar, and it was mixed with a special poison, which was gall. And that gall, the medicine, the poison there, was designed to help lessen the pain. Understand, Jesus Christ did not want to lessen the pain. He accepted fully, experienced fully the pain that God had given, because God was pouring his wrath on the sin of the world. So God was designing this punishment now to finish satisfying his wrath. Now let's see. This fulfills a prophecy in the Old Testament as well. Do you remember which one? Recently, before church started today, we had read Psalms chapter 22. We had read Psalms chapter 69. And we had read, Zechariah chapters 11 and 13. Do you remember which section fulfilled about the gall? Do you remember? The Psalm? And you're right. It is Psalms in chapter 69. So please open to Psalm chapter 69, verse 21. Now David, long ago, inspired through the Holy Spirit, was really expressing emotion, expressing his grief. And then he arrives at this place, which is really very, very odd. He tells, "They gave me also gall for my portion, or my eat. And then, for my thirst, they gave me vinegar to drink." So you see, both words that were used in the New Testament explaining about this fulfill the prophecy of the Old Testament writer David, again showing that Jesus Christ himself was proceeding to the cross, step, step, step. Jesus Christ was thirsty, yes, but the exact drink that was used, the exact kind of what was mixed inside the drink, imagine, was prophesied. So people could look and go, oh, long ago, 1,000 years ago, David put that down. now it's fulfilled here. 1,000 years separation. Can you imagine someone in America telling something and then 1,000 years future, in the year 3013, it shows up and it happens? People would be scratching their head going, really? That was written 1,000 years ago? Really? Because we can't prophesy that way. Only God Himself can. In Matthew chapter 27:35, again we see more fulfillment. Then the soldiers went ahead and crucified Jesus. Then they separated his clothes. Yeah, they're gambling. So here we have some dice. Okay? Yeah, decide which soldier would keep, which soldier would win. So they would gamble. Now you remember before we had the coins that were thrown on the ground, right? And I got a 4 and a 5, it was a 9, okay? Some other soldier would try to get a 6 and a 6 and beat it all together at 12. Or maybe they would want a lucky number like 7 or something to win their game. But understand now, there's a person who is dying here. And these soldiers are playing. These soldiers, it is a kind of mockery, that's right. Because they see, oh, his life is worth 30 coins. His friend went ahead and kissed him and betrayed him. And now they go ahead and they see he's not really worth a lot. If you remember what had happened, they had gone ahead and they had set up a sign, the King of the Jewish people, Jesus. Now it was not in English, I'm sorry. Long ago it was in the proper language. You understand that. But the concept is here. These soldiers were mocking. Can you imagine if President Obama was there? Would people be gambling near the president? Can you imagine that? No. They respect him. People would be crying and people would be saying, oh, please, we're going to try. We have a fireman that's coming and he has a ladder and he's going to help you get disconnected, right? People would be merciful on him. But long ago, Jesus Christ. Yeah, there was not a fireman, that's right. But at the same time, understand the soldiers, the people had no mercy on him, Jesus Christ. They had ignored him, they rejected him, and now they were playing a game about that. Psalms chapter 22 and verse 18, we see a prophecy related exactly about that. Psalm chapter 22. match in the verse? You see? Perfect match. In Psalms chapter 22, verse 18, it tells, they parted my garments among them. They separated, they casted the lots on my clothing. Verse 18. That's very interesting because we see in chapter 22 there's a lot of matching that happens. If you were to back up into verse 14, it tells that my water, it poured out. My bones were disconnected. Verse 15, my tongue is stuck to my jaw. Meaning what? You know, it's thirsty, and so when you're thirsty, you can't move your tongue. Inside, the dryness, right? We see in verse 16, they pierced my hands. They pierced my feet. You see, again and again through chapter 22, we see verse 17, they look at me, the people, they look at me. And then verse 18, we arrive, they separated my clothing. They gambled for my clothing there. So it is obviously not a mistake because verse 14, verse 15, verse 16, verse 17, verse 18, they're all connected, related with the person who is suffering on the cross there. Understand? The people, the soldiers, the people who were there watching didn't know they were really involved. Later, right, there was one soldier afterward who recognized truly he was the Son of God, and he repented, and I would believe that he would resign and follow Jesus Christ. But in the time period that the crucifixion was processing, people were clueless. They didn't know that I'm involving fulfilling the prophecy. And so we see in Matthew chapter 27, verse 43, 27, 43. God had said, oh, stop, mercy, took off Jesus Christ from the cross, then you and I would be stuck now today because it would cancel the payment for the sin. So we're very lucky, we're very wonderfully happy and blessed that Jesus Christ went ahead and died on the cross and didn't come off alive. That's very, very good. Matthew chapter 27, verse 43, he trusted in God, let himself deliver now, if he will have him, because he told, I am the Son of God. So people are mocking Jesus Christ. They're looking, they see, King of the Jews, we'll see. He can't come off of the cross. He's stuck. They see, he told, if you destroy the temple in 3 days, I will build it again. He told about things, brag, 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 brag. Let's see himself help himself now. Go ahead, Jesus Christ. So people mocked at that time period. And it matches again with Psalm chapter 22 in verse 8. Psalms chapter 22, verse 8. You see exactly, word for word for word, they tell him. He trusted on the Lord that he will deliver him. Let him deliver him, seeing he was blessed or happy. People smiling, laughing, mocking, teasing. They don't know what is next. There's going to be an earthquake. The sun is going to become dark. The temple is going to see a rip. Now, the people are going to stop their laughing. The people are going to stop their mocking because what is happening now? Really? What's that? Really, did we kill God himself now recently? And they're going to look. Later, Peter is going to go ahead and he's going to preach and go, you are at fault. You are to be blamed because you killed someone. And your sin and my sin is the reason why Jesus Christ died. And I told you, time is limited. So we've arrived at step number 5. I have one more right now I want to share before I want to hold. And then I want to give a challenge to you individually today. Matthew chapter 27, verse 46.
Wherever. Yeah, the mirror. There. Oh.
27, verse 46 tells, and about the ninth hour. Now understand, the clock doesn't mean time 9 in the morning. No, don't misunderstand it. Because we're talking about time 0 means the sun has come up. Time 6 is noon. Time 9 at 9 is time 3 in the afternoon. Okay, so we're talking about afternoon. It happens now. Jesus cried with a loud voice, telling, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That means what? My God, why have you forsaken me? So Jesus Christ yells, but it's very interesting because you remember just recently I showed you in Psalms chapter 22, verse 18, they gambled. In Psalms chapter 22, verse 8, they're mocking and teasing. Now in Psalm chapter 22, verse 1, what is put down? Let's see, Psalms chapter 22, verse 1. The people are clueless, and they're mocking Jesus Christ. The soldiers are clueless, and they're gambling. Jesus Christ, here, he's looking down, and he's thinking, I fulfilled chapter 22, verse 18. I fulfilled chapter 22, verse 8. And when he yells, he's saying, pay attention. Psalm chapter 22, verse 1. My God, why? The people who are there, they look up and they think, verse 18, they think, verse 8, they mock and they tease. They think, we recently fulfilled. The people who were local there, they understood. When he yelled, it was finished because it was too late. They couldn't change. They couldn't stop. They had went ahead and they were involved with the performance. Jesus Christ had led the people. The same as he told, if I am lifted up to the cross, I will draw all people to myself. Jesus Christ now is drawing you here today in the room. And what I'm going to do is give, we know normally we're going to be giving our tithes, we're going to be giving our money offering to the Lord very soon. But what is not normal today, I'm going to give you a piece of paper. And that piece of paper is designed to be mailed here. Okay? So you can put down something that is a concern of your heart. You're struggling with eating too much. You are struggling with smoking. You are struggling with sexual dirty pictures on the computer. You are struggling with whatever. You write it there, not your name. You just write it down. Put it down. Hold it up. Okay? Now, I know some of you won't, and that's fine, because your sin is what? It's private. I don't want people to look at me. I don't want to have a sin to put up there. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to give you a paper. If you need a pen, you just tell me. But we're going to go ahead, and I want to challenge you to be thinking, what sin do I need to nail and give to Jesus Christ? And now we're finished. What do? We're going to close in prayer, and we're going to cast that to Jesus Christ. We're going to tell him, Lord, please, I want to deal with that area. I want to stop that area. I don't want to continue angry. I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to continue whatever sin there is, because your and my sin was involved with nailing Jesus Christ.
One day, cái tôi có này đấy rồi đó. That's a lot.
If you want to do your nail kiters, they're special. Yes, you can bang one. But you have to have your paper ready to bang. Did you put your sin on there? What do you need to do it? Hold it back here. Put it down here. Put it down here. That's for Jesus. Okay. Wait you like. Okay. Come on. So,
Leave it on the floor.